The last few kilometers, the ones that change the atmosphere of the forest and transform it into a swamp, are the most difficult to cross. The deep verdure of the trees and the dense shadows of the undergrowth turn branches and rocks into slippery traps. You trip. 1, 2, 3 times. Christ. Your sputtered curse mixes with the rain, the drops engorged by their journey through the leaves and branches, falling to the ground like bombs. You're only 17, but you've learned to hide it. You've learned to act older. If someone were to look you in the eye, they might discover your true age, but nobody does. You do not want them to. You slip again. You grasp a fern with your gloved hand, and it keeps you from tumbling into the carpet of leaves. You keep your balance, half kneeling, your ripped jeans brushing the ground. You were told 2 days ago in Forlì, and you heard echoes of it yesterday in what must have been Cesena. Heading toward the Adriatic, the forest would lose its grip and become a mire of sand and mud. But you were determined to get to the sea. After months and years of aimless wandering, you have decided to get to the sea. You heard about a place there, a place for people like you, and you want to find it no matter the cost. Besides, what do I have to lose? You ask the cracked log. A beech tree. You know plants as well as you do animals. Recalling that name pains you because it belongs to a past that will never return, and that kind of past, when it is lost forever, can really hurt. It's better for everyone, you add. For everyone. You get back on your feet with the pop of joints and you look up to the heavens. Between the crowded branches over your head, braided like the woolen yarn with which your mother worked at the farm, you catch a glimpse of the overcast skies. A roiling swirl, black with thin white striations, icy storm clouds that collide with one another. And then distant thunder and lightning that play no part in the storm. It has been like this for weeks, and that is why you decided to move into the forest. The rain is light, but without shelter it settles into your bones. Staying under the trees, on the other hand, is no longer dangerous, at least for the time being. Those flashes that are now making you squint have haunted the sky for a year, but the lightning had long since ceased. The log in front of you, a split mouth glistening like shattered glass, would perhaps beg to differ. But plants do not think. Lucky them. It feels bumpy beneath your gloves, resin and springing clumps of moss, old wounds. Wood and bark have somehow healed them, and you would like to be able to do the same with yourself. You pass your gloved hand over the root of your braid, then climb up to the base of your head. Your wounds are hidden, but they are there. Under your hair, in your mind. Just some lightning, you mutter, looking up at the sky. Just a drop the size of your fist splats on your face, a cold slap that tears the words out of your mouth. As a little girl, you thought this was freedom, facing the storms on the hilltops, challenging the atmosphere just when it went mad with a flawed being, to clash with snow, hail, and rain. Now you enjoy small moments of nothingness and cold water on your face. Instants when you manage to concentrate only on what you feel in your skin and not on the grief inside. You feel rivulets of water that trickle along the wrinkles that the weather had incised on your young skin, down your nose, your cheeks, and the rest. You lick your lips. At least the rain here tastes good. Not like in Bologna. There are so many flawed people near the big cities, and the weather knows it. The weather always knows. This is why you were determined to head for the sea. Come on. You set off again. The mud releases your boots with a greedy squelch followed by suction, water taking its place. You take a couple of steps, then look back. Your footprints have vanished. Sludge, bushes, rain, leaves. It seems that the world is doing everything in its power to forget about you, to erase any trace of your passage. And it should. You hear yourself in the silence of the undergrowth. You hear yourself for the first time in quite a while. Your voice has become hoarse, low, more similar to a growl than you remember. Not a girlish voice, but then again nothing in your life is how it should be. Life is not wandering in the Po Valley forest with a backpack and a few pouches of seeds, wearing dirty, ill-fitting clothes with wet hair plastered to your forehead. It is not talking to yourself. It is not escaping because you are not brave enough to end it all. No one's life is going the way it should, you remark, while you search for a less marshy path out of the forest. The trees are changing all around you. Beech trees give way to poplars, alders, English oaks. You know them all, those trees. They surround your home, and from the top of the hill, from the farm, you could see all the Po Valley, all the green colors of the forest that had sprung up so quickly. Mom always insisted that you and your siblings learn the names of the trees by heart. It was one of those little things she truly cared about, one of those little rules that she enforced no matter what. You start to feel a stinging sensation in your nose, and you thank the rain. You thank it because it dilutes the tears, because it quenches the salt. Because when you taste the pain, all that is wrong inside you resurfaces, working its way into your gut, and your thoughts, your memories, and you want nothing to do with your memories. You find a dry ridge. No, not dry, less sodden. You single it out for its tufts of dark green bushes that grow there, a sort of path where you will be able to move a little faster. No one's life is going the way it should. You realize this immediately after escaping the farm, and you have seen evidence of it time and again for 3 consecutive years. You deplore close proximity to cities. You disliked what you saw, but you needed information, and there was no other place where you could search for it. The reality? Everyone tries to do what they can, but no one's life, nobody's, is how it should be. You jump from one bush to the next, the terrain more solid under your feet, and for a little while you manage to forget almost everything. You bend your knees, find your footing, push, muscles stretch and release the accumulated energy, a leap, then another. You are short of breath. The exertion helps distract you, and for this reason you accept everything like a benediction. You even smile, and you know the smile changes your face. If someone were to see you now, soaked braid that bounces on your back, brown backpack a little too small, puffer jacket, gloves, boots with purple laces. If someone were to see you now, they would think of a girl in the middle of some game. Nothing could be further from the truth. When you stop, when you set your hands on your bent knees to catch your breath, the Po Valley forest is behind you, and something in the air is changing. There is a different smell, more humid and less oppressive than the rain that is now so fine as to resemble fog. It is the sea. You have never been there, the ocean. Before escaping, you had never strayed too far from the farm except for school. But you know that this is how it smells. And you know the sea is an ancestral magnet, something that lures people on the run, something that calls you to it when no other place wants you, when it is you who does not want any other place. You squint. Little drops of condensation gather on your eyelashes. The silence of the plain is so different from the live murmur of the forest that has accompanied you for 3 years. You look around, without turning, and you see a new marshy world that surrounds you. Before you, far, but you do not know how far, is a cluster of flickering lights. You already know that this last stretch of road will be the most difficult to travel.